Hey, everybody. Happy Memorial Day, ladies and gentlemen. We are studentloanjustice.org. We are the oldest, the largest, the first, and the only true grassroots group fighting only and absolutely for student loan justice. Happy Memorial Day. It's backwards. It's a sticker that you put on the inside of a window. So sorry about that. So if you're new to the group, welcome. We're glad that you found us. As I said, we're the only true grassroots group fighting only and absolutely for student loan justice. That means two things. This group started the concept of, we injected the concept of canceling student loans by executive order, which the president can do without congressional approval, appropriation, without needing one dime from the Treasury, without adding one penny to the national debt. We introduced that concept into the public conversation, and we should be thrilled to see how far it's come, although we're not. But the second thing that we're fighting for, and this is way more important than the first thing, second thing we're fighting for, ladies and gentlemen, is the return of bankruptcy rights to all student loans. You know, the founding fathers knew that having bankruptcy rights was so important. They called for uniform bankruptcy laws in the body of the Constitution, not in the Bill of Rights, ahead of the Bill of Rights. In Article 1, Section 8, read the Constitution. You'll see it right there. They call for uniform bankruptcy laws. And even in the body of the Constitution, they call for it ahead of the power when they gave Congress its powers. They called for uniform bankruptcy laws ahead of the power to declare war, ahead of the power to raise an army and build a navy and create a judiciary and even coin currency. So, ladies and gentlemen, the most important policy point I have for you tonight is the fact that we're not going to see anything good happen with student loans, with your student loans, unless and until we get the constitutionally enshrined right of bankruptcy returned to the loans. It's always been true, guys. As long as the leverage of bankruptcies is withheld from us citizens for student loans, uniquely, I might add, we'll be begging Joe Biden or the next president forever to do nice things, and they will not. This is tyranny, ladies and gentlemen. This student loan, and it sounds stupid. People who don't have student loans are like, don't try and be profound. We're talking about student loans here. Yeah, we are talking about student loans here. We are talking about the only loan in this country's history to be uniquely stripped of the constitutional bankruptcy rights that exist for all other loans. So it may not be important to some, but it's very important to about a fifth of the U.S. adult population. And ladies and gentlemen, the founding fathers are on our side. Make no mistake. So the thing that we're fighting hardest for is the return of these bankruptcy rights to student loans. And you need to get on board with that because, as I said, we're not going to see anything good happen with your loans unless and until we get that leverage returned. So happy Memorial Day, everybody. I rarely go off script, but I think I'm going to today because I was sort of looking at all the sacrifices that men in battle have made over the years. And, I think it's sort of important to point out that many of the founding fathers themselves who created this country and called for uniform bankruptcy laws ahead of the power to raise an army and declare war, many of the founding fathers sacrificed their lives in the Revolutionary War. It's true. And I'm going to take you through a quick article from a guy, Michael W. Smith. I don't know who that is. I always thought it was like some Christian singer or something. So not sure about that, but it's pretty interesting. The price that the founders paid in the Revolutionary War. So I'll just take you through a quick couple of interesting, I assume true, bullet points that will sort of paint this picture for you. This might be a little more appropriate for the 4th of July, but in fact, 5 signers of the Declaration of Independence, they were captured by the British as traitors, as you can see here. They were tortured until they died Um, 9 of the 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence, they died from wounds or hardships of the Revolutionary War. That's quite a few. That's like a lot. That's a lot. That's like 20%, I think. So 1 in 5 of the founding fathers indeed sacrificed their lives in war for that Constitution. And I mean, I'm not trying to compare our fight to what the founders did. Obviously, it was a completely different world. War was completely different back then. The weapons have changed. But certainly, guys, I think most people will agree that the United States has really done exceedingly well. Hopefully, even by the standards that the founders set and the aspirations of the founders. But I think most people will also agree that something really wrong has happened in this country, particularly over the past, let's say, 50, 60 years or so. And there is no more plain illustration of that than this student loan tyranny. And it's tyranny, guys. It's the government ruthlessly exploiting its people for profit. We've never seen anything, well, I hesitate to say that we've never seen anything like this before, but certainly in my lifetime, we have not seen the government exploiting the people economically and unconstitutionally like this student loan thing. And if you don't have your student loans, you probably have your tongue in your cheek right now, and you've got a raised eyebrow and you've got an incredulous look on your face. Well, I am here to tell you that this is indeed predatory lending of the worst kind. And I can introduce you to any number of people who have been forced under the rule of federal law to repay 500%, 1,000% more than they originally borrowed for the sin of going to college. You know, the founding fathers certainly are on our side on the bankruptcy issue. But, you know, even the Congress of 1965 and Lyndon Baines Johnson, the president back then, they are on our side as well. You know, originally, this was supposed to be a very benign government program. The loans were originally supposed to be free of interest. And that's LBJ's exact words when he signed the Higher Education Act of 1965. So that's gone out the window. And, you know, I could tell you stories of people whose lives have been absolutely devastated, wrecked, and ruined. I could tell you many stories of people, and in fact, entire families who died by suicide as a result of these unconstitutional predatory loans. So many people out there may not feel this pain, but I'm here to tell you, this is one of the most dangerous national threats that this country is looking down the barrel of right now. And I include like the threat from China and the threat from terrorism and all the other threats that this country faces. It's true. You know, student loan debt in over a third of U.S. states. And these are not coastal elite states, by the way. These are southern states primarily. Over a third of those states owe more in student loan debt, mostly federal student loan debt, than their entire state budgets. Like, look at Georgia. The state budget of Georgia is $48 billion. The people of Georgia owe $82 billion in mostly federal student loan debt. It's 170% of their state budget. And most of those borrowers are either Republican or independent. Make no mistake. Forget everything that you think you know about who these student loan borrowers are. They're not a bunch of elitist, snowflake, liberal, gender studies majors. Sure, there are some of those, but 40% of these people never graduated. Millions, tens of millions of them went to trade schools, community colleges. 100% of them were determined to be financially needy as a precondition for even getting the loans in the first place. So, and by the way, elitists, they don't get student loans. They have trust funds and stuff. So this is an American problem, and it gives me great pains to see how the problem has been very neatly mapped into the fake uniparty bipartisan debate, which is frankly designed to shove people like us into the shadows, into the cracks. They've ignored us forever. And make no mistake either, there are people in Washington, D.C. and Wall Street who love this unconstitutional, predatory loan scam. And, you know, even Donald Trump, believe it or not, in 2015, he was pointing this out. He said, why on earth is the federal government making a profit on student loans? Like, and today, that was 6 years ago. Today, as best as I can determine, something like 80 or 90% of the entire federal portfolio is pure profit at this point. So, honest people see what's going on. Unfortunately, up to this point, the honest people haven't been loud enough. So, that leaves us on this group, guys. I kid you not. If there was another group actually fighting this battle as it needs to be fought, I would join that group. That group is us. You know, I've looked at the other groups, and the other groups are not fighting for student loan borrowers, guys. They're, as best as I can determine, they're trying to sell their members out. In one case, they're trying to make money off the backs of their members by railroading them into loan cancellation or loan rehabilitation, loan consolidation, nonsense like that. And other of the groups are literally doing millions of dollars in financial transactions with the debt collection industry. And when it comes to calling for bankruptcy, all of these groups, they go mysteriously and suspiciously silent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, these loans are going to be turned back on, if you haven't noticed. They were going to be turned back on anyways, but now because of this budget deal that Biden just struck with McCarthy, it would appear overwhelmingly, almost unquestionably, that these loans will be turned back on. And the one thing that the student debt collection industry wants is the loans turned back on and for bankruptcy rights to remain gone. That's what they want. That is their golden unicorn. It's their sacred cow. It's the thing that they pray for when they go to bed at night. And that's the barrel. That's the gun down whose barrel we are now looking, ladies and gentlemen. Things could get very, 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 very ugly going forward. And nobody knows. And maybe one other small way that I compare ourselves to the founders. Remember, the founding fathers had no idea how that stuff was going to turn out. Like, the history books are written, and it's like, oh yeah, of course he did that. Of course he did that. Founding fathers had no idea how that thing was going to turn out. Well, so too, the future is completely wide open with this one as well. We don't know how it'll go. I hope it goes our way. I hope it goes the good way. The non-violent and civilly unrestful way, where they return bankruptcy to the loans, and very shortly thereafter, the president cancels very broad, very deep swaths of the debt, maybe even cancels the entire program, because honestly, I think that's what really needs to happen with the federal student loan program. So the future is not set, guys, and I'm here to tell you, I do this every single day, and I don't see more than a couple hundred people helping us. And we will be baffled and bamboozled and completely outmaneuvered and out-hustled and out-mediaed. And we will be crushed by this tyranny if we don't fight. That's just true. So you got to get off your ass. This group here is a working, fighting group. We're not going to blow smoke up your ass and, invite you to sit down, give you some popcorn, and then jump around and dance and pretend to be fighting this battle. This battle is happening right now. And if you're not fighting it, then we're losing it. And that's just a fact. So don't be fooled by the charlatans on the internet who they say they're fighting for student loan cancellation, but are they really? Follow the money. I think the truth is completely sideways, if not opposite of that. So I'm going to look for your comments now, but I just kind of wanted to give you guys an idea. Historically, this is a very important battle that we're engaged in. Obviously, I don't compare what we're doing with actual wars in history, but guys, if they can do to other loans what they've done to student loans, they will. John Adams, one of the more famous founders, he said there are two ways to conquer and enslave a country. One is by the sword, the other is through debt. And this student loan abomination is exactly the sort of thing that all of the founders would have been extraordinarily concerned and about and wary of. So, every generation has, I guess, their battle to fight. Well, certainly, if you enjoy the freedom that you were born and raised with, and you're concerned that you see it going away, not only on student loans, but other areas as well, well, certainly, guys, this is a battle that you have to fight. And we need you in this particular battle because we will be conquered and enslaved, ladies and gentlemen. I've been doing this for 18 years now. I had no idea how resilient and strong our opposition was, but they are, because here we are. And, a lot rides on whether you sitting there help us fight or not. So I would say go to our website, and the least that you can do is start hammering out our daily actions. They're very quick. We make them easy and fun. But I would say do far more than that. Do far, far more than that. And be proud. Be proud to be fighting this fight. Because the founders are on our side. The Congress of 1965 LBJ is on our side. Anybody that actually knows about this issue, in fact, I think many of the people who work for our opposition, I think secretly they're on our side as well. And we've had more than a few whistleblowers come forward in recent months and years. And so, yeah, guys, this is not a D thing. This is not an R thing. This is an American thing. And I hope that you can appreciate that fact. While I'm waiting for my page to load, we need donations right now, guys. As I said, we don't do dirty deals with dirty people. We don't make money on the sly. We don't sell our members out. The only way that we get funding to do what we do is through personal gifts, through donations from normal people. This coming week is going to be very difficult for us. We need to raise something like $960. So that's like, if 48 people were to donate $20, that would carry us through this coming week. And that's a lot for us. And so it's going to be very tough. Would you please make this fundraising stuff a little easier on me, and pitch in if you appreciate all that this group has done, is doing, and is poised to get done, so I can shut up about it. So, hey, I see we have a few people here with us tonight. Michael Jacobs in Pennsylvania. How you doing, Michael? Evie Porter is with us. Ann Cooper as well. I think this is tonight. Yeah, it is. So let me just dial, and I will. And if you have any questions, comments, editorial or opinions or otherwise, by all means, shout them out. If there's any haters out there that want to get into a little battle of wills here and want to make some points with us, bring it right now, and I will very happily swat you away like the fly you are. We've never lost this argument, guys. We never will. That's how strong we are. That's how strong our argument is, anyways. So, quite a few comments here. I'm going to try and take them maybe from the oldest to the newest. Joanna's with us from Florida, our most fierce and stalwart warrior in terms of doing our daily actions. Joanna, good evening, she says. Yesterday, I wrote and sent many more letters to many more Florida news organizations. Others need to do the same. How can you call yourself a member of this group and not be doing this many times over? Right? I echo that question. Like, these are your loans. This is your problem. This is not only are our own livelihoods at stake on the chopping block here, but generations of people are going to follow in our footsteps. Do they not deserve to be left with at least as much freedom as we had? Hopefully more. People need to fight, and Joanna can't carry your weight for you. And neither can Michael or Ann or any of the other people watching this live stream tonight. They're doing the work. You need to help. And if you want to be a wallflower and just observe, and you think you're better than us, and you think you don't really deserve to have to get your knuckles a little muddy and a little bloody, well, then you should leave. You should get off this group, because we don't want you here in your bad karma, frankly. Hey, Michael Cheney's with us tonight. Hey, Michael, truck driver from Ohio. Michael says, that one guy on C-SPAN pissed me off when he said you signed a promissory note. He needed his ass kicked and really pissed me off. You know, I tried, Michael, and Michael's talking about a call I got into C-SPAN earlier in the week with Congressman Greg Murphy. So Greg Murphy hails from the state of North Carolina. North Carolina is one of the worst hurt states in the nation by these loans. There's enough student loan debt in North Carolina to buy every acre of farm in the entire state, I believe, twice over. I think that's right. Yes, that is right. That's true. You can quote me on that. Twice. You can buy all the farmland in North Carolina twice with the student loan debt that is hanging around the necks of that state. But here we are, this Greg Murphy guy. He's towing the Republican line on C-SPAN. By the way, we're a fiercely nonpartisan group. We hate the Republicans. We hate the Democrats. Both parties. It's a uniparty thing. Both parties have betrayed us. But so I got a call into C-SPAN with Greg Murphy of North Carolina. And I actually called him an absolute liar on C-SPAN, because here's what and like I said, we don't like the Republicans, we don't like the Democrats, but here's what the Republicans are doing. The Republicans just hate us. The Democrats say they like us, but they actually hate us. So the Republicans, they did a 10-point plan as a part of their national debt cap negotiations with the president. And number 7 on this list of 10 agenda items was turn on the student loan payments again. Like, they're digging their own grave. They're certainly digging a big hole. I would call it a grave, because they're ruining their base by fighting against us borrowers and for the government, for the colleges that's profiting off of this thing. There's nothing conservative about that. And so, yeah, he pissed me off too, Michael. I tried to kick his ass, figuratively speaking, through words on C-SPAN. But I would urge everyone, you can call in C-SPAN every single day. And I know Michael's done it, and other people, I think Joanna's done it. Everybody can get one call into C-SPAN a month. It's fun to do, actually, but you have to be strong, and I would say you have to be angry. But you can look on our Facebook group and you can find my particular call and see it for yourself. And so I'm glad that you enjoyed that. Ann Cooper says you can't get water from a stone. That's right, Ann. The lending system is finished, guys. Nobody's going to pay. Student loans are a national joke at this point. Before the pandemic, nearly 60% of all borrowers were not paying on their loans. That's before COVID. Now, here we are 3.5 years later. I would be stunned if even 20%, 1 in 5, I think it's probably going to be closer to about 15%, will ever resume paying their loans. So in other words, something like 80 or 85% of all borrowers are done. We're finished paying. No more. We're not going to pay anymore. The lending system is toast. And I would urge everybody to bulletproof yourselves, because like I said, in the background, we have the student debt collection industry fighting so hard to get these loans turned back on, and bankruptcy remaining gone from the loans. Kind of looks like they're going to get their wish. and who knows what else other kind of help they may have had. But it could get very brutal, guys. This could get very ugly for us. And I would urge everyone to bulletproof yourselves, economically, financially, bulletproof yourselves. That means different things to different people. But I agree with you, Ann. Nobody should pay, in my humble opinion. Don't feed this beast. Giving them money only encourages them to keep doing what they're doing, which is crushing this country in unconstitutional debt. Michael says, I'm not paying, they can KMA. I think we all know what that means. Yeah, sometimes you have to call in a number of times, like 2, 3, 4, 5, sometimes 10 times to finally break into getting on with C-SPAN. But if you only try once a month, I've been able to get on every single time if I only try once a month. If I try more than once a month, then I can't do it. But it's not that hard to get on. So, okay, guys, I think I've gone a little further than I was really planning on tonight. Let me get you back to our main thing. But just remember, guys, student loan justice, this is it. We're it. You're it. You are us and we are you. And we can solve this problem very, very quickly and cleanly and constitutionally. But you got to help us, apparently, because all the money is against us, obviously. So we can easily crush this thing, but that will only easily happen when you help. So, okay, guys, I'll be back tomorrow. I hope what I said tonight made sense to y'all. If I missed your questions, I apologize. I will get to them in due time. Due time. If you want to leave a comment or question in the comments below this, whether you're watching us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or otherwise, I will gladly respond to any and all. Okay, guys, please donate. I'll see you tomorrow. Good luck. Happy Memorial Day. Godspeed. And God bless everyone. I'm going to turn this around just so let's see what I can do here. Where's the settings at? Okay. Video. I'm going to mirror this. There you go. Godspeed, everyone. See you tomorrow.